Hey everybody, welcome back to the semifinals between Gator Guild and Quint and Company. This is for a shot in the finals, and they already know, and they have known for several days at this point, who they would be playing against in the finals. That, of course, being Fake Booty, and you could see how they got there and how these teams got to this point by checking out the earlier coverage on the channel. Almost all the matches, all the non-fairy gen stuff, is here. So Gator Guild, who a lot of people after the first round or two really liked as one of the favorites in this tour, really thought was one of the teams that had a serious chance to come out of this bracket, finds themselves in this one a little bit between a rock and a hard place. X-Ray got taken down by Luthier, which some people thought was surprising. Luthier has had an unbelievable tournament and is undefeated, having played every round, so he's really on fire and carrying his team in this tour. But they played an SS match that you're not going to see on YouTube. Luthier took it down 2-0, was pretty clean, pretty decisive, and with that, that leaves Gator Guild, like I said, with their back kind of against the wall here, because now not only does Conflict need to beat Dice in what would largely be considered Dice's main and Dice's best tier in black-white, which you would think, at least on paper, he's not favored to do. But even if Conflict does manage to win this match, they would then need to have Ima defeat Tala, which is far from a cakewalk in Gen 9. That's a very coin flippy, can go either way kind of match. So all hope is not lost for the Gator Guild, but they need to win a tough, unfavorable on-paper matchup here, and then also get there in another really tough, hard-fought matchup. Stranger things have happened, of course, in Mons, but that's the situation we find ourselves in. On the flip side, should Dice simply take care of business and win a match that, in theory, he's supposed to win, for lack of a better term, against Conflict here, that's that. Quint and Company is through to the finals against Fake Booty, and we can all move along. So, what outcome do we get? We're going to find out here. Do we go to a third match, or are we going straight to the Callus Crew Challenge 2 finals? Here is Game 1 in their semi-final best of 3. Conflict for the Gator Guild is on the bottom. Dice is on the top. As we've established, this is some black-white action, and they're both going to stay in. Lead Garchomp, lead Kyurem. One of them is going to survive thanks to Choice Sash. The other is not. Both of them going with super effective moves, super effective stab moves at that in Ice Beam and Draco Meteor. Starmie comes in for the revenge kill. And wow, what a start for Dice. Hydro Pump would not have killed there without a crit. And Conflict claiming in the chat that he clicked Crunch. That was a relevant crit, and we are off to a bad start for the Gator Guild. Dice with a clean 5-4 advantage very early on. His Lati gets burned, but he does get a Surf back, and then Conflict gets a crit as well, that being HP Ice. Now we've got a 4-4, but it's not exactly even because Heatran there is taking a beating. But now Dice is going to go for Rocks, which Conflict is going to stay in and click HP Ice again. And actually, now that he's locked on Outrage and now that Protect has happened, there's a chance with this 50-50 Protect that he can survive the following Outrage. It's going to be close. Yeah, he's going to survive at 4% and get him back with HP Ice there. So that leaves us in a 3-4. Conflict has actually taken the lead. Not sure if he's got great answers for Volcarona, though. Magma Storm is going to be what he tries to get there with. Going to go for Protect, try to stall him out in that way. Psychic there, going for the Throat, which again, Heatran is going to resist. So Heatran defensively actually seems really annoying for Dice's team. That's going to be yet another move that he's going to survive after getting lefties via Protect. So that's two things that even though he's really low, Heatran has managed to fend off. Looking really reasonable in Game 1 for Conflict. It's just Ferrothorn and Starmie left for Dice. Hydro Pump there protected against. PP could become a factor. It's only got 8 to begin with. Double Protect fails this time, though, and Hydro Pump finds its mark. So leaves us in a 3-2 with Conflict still in the lead. Here comes Lando, representing that it's faster. U-turn would have been super effective against Starmie, of course, but not against Pharaoh. And that's going to prompt out Breloom. Got to activate its orb and begin getting that heal. Substitute is going to be immediately popped by Gyro Ball. and there's no chance that that sub will ever not be popped by Gyro Ball. So this becomes a stally cat and mouse game. Substitute comes. Gyro Ball pops. Yeah, I don't know if Dice is going to have to try to sneak in the Starmie on a protect turn. That's obviously really risky business if he goes to Starmie, and then, as it turns out, Breloom actually just subs on that turn. But it's going to be Conflict who switches, and Lati almost dies to the Gyro Ball. It's at just 2%. It's going to click Trick, and that is the only thing it's going to do before perishing, and we've got ourselves a 2-2. But with that, Pharaoh is going to be stuck on Power Whip, and that's going to be it. Nothing else he can do. Power Whip is going to miss, which is what Conflict was fishing for, and that's going to enable a Focus Punch, which Pharaoh is going to die via a crit. I think it would have died anyway, but the crit makes it super duper dead, no doubt about it. Starmie against Breloom now, which we know Starmie has Ice Beam, so the real question is whether or not the Lando has Choice Scarf and can outspeed the Starmie and go for the kill. If it can outspeed here and get an Earthquake or a U-turn off, it's Conflict's win. If not, Ice Beam will end it. But Conflict does have the set that he needs to have. He's faster with Scarf, U-turn with a crit that doesn't matter, pops the balloon, which doesn't matter, and surprisingly, according to you guys in the predictions anyway, it's Conflict who takes game one, and that's even after he got crit early on and fell behind. That's got to be optimistic. That's got to be good news for Gator Guild fans, and got to be a little nerve-wracking if you're rooting for Quint and company. But these are best of three for a reason. Let's not count Dice, a long-time black-white main and SPL player, out of this match, obviously. We're going to move on to game two, but before I do, I have to give you the spiel, guys. Well, let's see. Like button, please. Just right now, real quick. Take the time to do that if you haven't already. Consider subscribing to the channel if you've not done so already. I have tournaments like this all the time, whether it's Kalos Invitational, Pokemon Perfect tournaments, or one of these other money tours, such as this one. The most important thing, however, is to join the Discord server. There is a link in the description, and consider donating to the tournament. We are almost in the finals. The tournament is almost over. We could get a late push and get some big cash money to add to the prize pool, all of which will go to the players. The way to do that is to click the donation link in the donation section of the Discord server. It's really fast and easy. You could literally join the Discord server, send that donation, and be done in under 30 seconds if you wanted to. It's really quick, and like I said, I don't keep any of it. It all goes to support the players and to make me more incentivized to run tournaments like this in the future. So if you've enjoyed Kalos Crew Challenge all the way up to this point, if it has entertained you worth 5, 10 big dollars, let me know by supporting it financially. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has already donated, and thank you guys for considering donating as well. So, game 2. Conflict looking for the 2-0 over Dice to send it over to a Gen 9 match between Ima, his teammate, and Tala. And Dice obviously looking to end it here by winning 2 in a row. Go ahead and switch those sides for continuity. Conflict's on the bottom, Dice is on the top. Teams don't look too wildly dissimilar from the previous games. Neither one has brought rain all series long. We've got Sand for Conflict and Sand for Dice as well, though they opt for different leads in this case. And Skarm is going to get some hazards down, but it's going to be immediately killed by Volt Switch. So again, Conflict with the early lead here. T-Tower against Lando is going to prompt Pharaoh in. And Dice is going to opt for Ice Beam, which obviously the Lando would not have appreciated with the 4X weakness. But Pharaoh takes it just fine, and hazards of his own. So both players have rocks and spikes down in the early stages of this game. 4X Fire Punch and a burn there. And that's going to prompt a Leech Seed, but Ferrothorn is basically useless now for Conflict. He's going to pull it back, though. He sees more than 0 use. Perhaps he keeps it as fodder. And Rotom takes the Fire Punch, no problem. He just wants to avoid the burn, which he manages to do. Here comes the Jelly Belly. And Trick says that it now has a Choice Scarf. And Rotom picks up a A balloon. That doesn't seem like a great item on Rotom, but that's what he's got. T-Tar comes in on Nightshade. Feels like he has no choice but to Nightshade again. And Crunch is going to get him. Bigger lead for Conflict. Already up a game and now up 6-4. He's got Dice with his back against the wall, though this is closer than it looks because T-Tar dies and Ferrothorn is basically dead, so it's almost a 4-4 here. But that's a legit knockout, making it effectively 4-3. It is 5-3 on paper. T-Tar comes into Lando yet again, and we already know that it has Ice Beam, but this time he's going to opt for Pursuit, and he is in fact correct that Conflict is going to switch out. He's going to go to Pharaoh and let it die. Between Hazards and the Burn, it does that on its own. And now Zam coming in, relying on the crappy accuracy of Focus Blast. It's going to cooperate this time, and Dice is down to 2 pokes. But unexpectedly for Conflict, Dual Chop going to work around the ability of Alakazam. Conflict, I think, thought that he was safe there and probably going to win this game, but it just got a lot closer and a lot harder. Earthquake survived by Scizor here. Rotom sneaks in. And it's going to get Quick Attacked, popping the balloon. Man, couple of surprises here for Conflict at the end. Dual Chop and Quick Attack, probably not what he thought he was going to see. And I think Dice actually wins now. I'm not sure how he survives the Garchomp attack here. I believe the answer is he doesn't. But here comes Lottie trying to do it anyway. Oh yeah, even with Intimidate, not surviving Outrage, and Lando shouldn't die there. Dice is going to pull this one back with a couple nice surprise moves. Conflict even says in the battle chat, Quick Attack got me. So an unexpected Dual Chop and an unexpected Quick Attack at the end is going to earn the W for Dice. It looked like he was not in a good place in this game, and like Conflict was going to close him out 2-0, but instead we're going to Game 3 with the Gator Guild's tournament life on the line and in the hands of Conflict. Here's that third game. Conflict's going to be on the bottom playing Sand for the third and final time. For the first time all set, somebody's brought Rain. That's, of course, going to be Dice on the top. Like I said, Conflict must win this to send us to a Gen 9 battle between Ima and Tala. Otherwise, if Dice wins, Conflict's team Gator Guild will be out of the tournament, and weather has been established. When it rains, it pours, but most of that damage negated now by Recover. Psyshock and Scald, damage is whatever. Question is whether or not there's a burn, and the answer this time is no. Recover comes down, and Lottie, very healthy, good to go, gets a Hidden Power Fire off. However, a lot of that is negated because of the rain. Gyro Ball does a lot, and it's not Recover on the switch. He goes for Gyro Ball again in case Pharaoh had stayed in, which as we see is not the case. Tornadus gets out to Thundurus, brothers in arms. Hidden Power super effective, but he still takes it just fine. Grass Knot, comparable damage back, 42 and then 41, all the same. Here comes Rotom on a Hidden Power, no problem, resisted. Conflict with the opportunity to Volt Switch here if he'd like. No, he's going to take advantage of the rain that his opponent established and go for Hydro Pump. Does about a third to Lottie, but the first knockout this time goes the way of Dice via Draco Meteor. However, Conflict takes the opportunity to establish Sand, canceling out the rain, and also going to beat up the Lottie on the way out via Pursuit. But he's going to have to take 2 ever-decreasing Draco Meteors on the way. Gets Rocks up, and Lottie down via the Sand. Weather now back in Dice's favor as the rain comes down. Here comes Drill. Does not like super effective Scald whatsoever. Going to instantly die. And now Lottie's going to be the answer. Clicking Recover. And Encore is going to make it so we can only click Recover. T-Tar going to establish Weather. And that was a good turn for Conflict. Rain is gone. And Rain is back. What will it cost him? It will not cost him the Politoed. Superpower there, a lot, but not the whole way. And Rest coming down. Dice, very important for him to keep that weather going. And he's actually going to get a Rest off and get the Poly even healthier. And he's going to start fighting back now. Psyshock and Ice Beam respectively. Draco Meteor on the switch with a huge miss for Conflict. That could really end up mattering. I wonder what would have happened had he clicked Psyshock and killed Tornadus there instead. Obviously, Draco Meteor was aimed at the Toad, not the Tornadus, but that miss could really, really matter. It's going to cost him a poke, and then he does get revenge with Mamo, but Dice still clearly ahead here, and Lottie not in good shape. It's going to die to Hydro Pump. 2 pokes left for Conflict. Got to get rid of the rain, so here comes the sand. Rapid Spin, no more rocks. And Pursuit gets him with a crit. 3-2 situation. Thundy comes down. Grass Knot, not going to kill. And Conflict decides more important than damage is reestablishing rocks. So that's what he does. Only Mamoswine for Conflict. This is the last Mon standing for Gator Guild. Mamoswine must get this done, or Gator Guild is out of the tournament. Ice Shard is the start that he needs. Can he kill Politoed here? Earthquake, short. Scald, not short. And Mamoswine faints, and that is victory for Dice. Gator Guild, largely considered one of the favorites in the right-hand side of the bracket, gonna be eliminated by Quint and company. Hell of a run. Semifinals in this tour, top 4 out of 32 teams, is obviously an impressive showing, but it's not going to be good enough. Instead, it is going to be fake booty against Quint and company in the finals of Cow's Crew Challenge 2. The tiers for that matchup are going to be Gen 2, Gen 4, and Gen 5, meaning you will see all of those matches, if all 3 of them in fact get played, here on YouTube. I hope you guys have enjoyed this very much. Like I said, quick reminder, please consider donating. It isn't for me, it's for the players. It does incentivize me to run these tours in the future, but I'm not profiting off this tournament in any way. In fact, I'm losing time and money, not only because I paid for the logo out of my own pocket, but I'm not getting paid anything to narrate this, to take time away from my wife, post this on YouTube, organize it, all that. I'm not profiting from this in any way. Your donations directly benefit the tournament, the players, and the community, so we can keep hosting tournaments like this in the future. Very important for that to be clear. I'm not doing this to get rich. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We've got an exciting final coming up. Like I said, it's going to be Quint and company against Fake Booty. Conflict going to put up a hell of a fight here. He easily could have won this series. He's a player in any tier that I have immense respect for. Very competent in any old gen. But he's going to come up just a little short. You've got to wonder if the Draco Meteor had connected there, whether it would have made a difference. Would have kept Lando alive, so maybe it would have. But there's no shoulda, woulda, coulda in Pokemon. 2-1 victory for Dice. 2-0 series victory for Quint and company. Finals coming up. I will see you guys there.